Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, August 19th, 2024. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Monday, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. After the previous week, we seen quite a bit of expansion to the upside. It started with a breakout from the 2-day narrow range on Tuesday here, saw great elongation into Thursday. Friday held the gains, and by the time it was all said and done, it was a very bullish unidirectional trending move, a high range move, which is what we were expecting out of this 2-day narrow range. And now we're holding at the highs in another kind of narrow 2-day range pattern. Still ahead of the RTH open here, but the ES is trading just 28.5 points of range, which is 26% of average daily range. So 26% heading into the RTH open. That's super narrow right now. We could continue to see some compression here today with an overall upward bias, but the fact that we are sitting near the previous week's high and close suggests to watch that zone for perhaps maybe a modest pullback to begin the week. We do have a heavy Fed week this week. We have Fed Chair Powell speaking later on in the week. We have the Jackson Hole Symposium beginning Thursday through Saturday, and that's going to be big for Fed policy there and Fed Chair Powell's speech. So again, that's going to be all eyes on the Fed here early or later this week. So again, keep an eye on that. But right now, narrow range of price action here. Could be a fade the edges with an upward bias to begin the week. Keep an eye on the previous week's high and close, any early rejection there, and we're rotating back into the previous week's range a little bit. We could see a move as deep as the previous week's midpoint. That would be a 54.67 level, but again, any pullback that deep could still be a buying opportunity until proven otherwise. Taking a look here at the NQ, similar price action out of the NQ. This range here, doji-like already heading into the RTH open. Very narrow range, just 31% of average range right now, and a current range of 162.75 points. This looks very similar to last week here. That right there was Friday. That was Monday. This is Friday. This is currently Monday. Another 2-day narrow range. Again, we got a great breakout from that 2-day narrow range last week, which really hit our target projections, and both the ES and NQ squeezed right up to the previous key range high here. That previous high coming just shy of those highs as of right now, but likely to test it here pretty soon. Like the ES, this market remains quite bullish overall, but keep an eye on the previous week's high and close to begin the week. Any rejection there, and we could be looking at a little bit of a pullback into the previous week's range, perhaps as deep as the 19,099 level, basically 19,100. That's going to be the previous week's midpoint. Any pullback toward that zone could still be a buying opportunity until proven otherwise. Looking at crude oil, right now crude oil down about 2/3%. This one saw a deep pullback here after that recent rally and reached our 75.91 target here on Friday. 75.91 is the midpoint between these two pivot extremes right there, and that gives us a new key range if you want to use that key range. I'm still working off the previous key range back here, but overall this keeps prices in that range for now. We could continue to see kind of some price action between those two extremes back and forth here, and perhaps even see a drop that takes us to the previous key range low. That's going to be the 72.48 level. But really, we've been trading between about 82 and 72 for the most part. Maybe a little bit higher into 84, but if you look at 82 here and 72 here, the bulk of crude oil's price action has occurred within this range. If we've gotten too far out of it, it comes back. If we get dipped down below it, it comes back. So we could drop back to 72, rally back to 82, and continue to be in this range until proven otherwise. Right now, still a downtrending market, and bears looking to defend into pullbacks. Looking at gold futures, right now down about 0.25%, but reached new highs. That's what we were looking for last week, was for a squeeze into about the 25.25 to 25.30 zone, maybe as high as 25.40, and we got that move. We got the nice squeeze here. 25.49.90 is the new high here today. But again, after this market hits a new high, even if it's a brief new high, there tends to be a very deep pullback that occurs. So it goes up nicely to a new high, but pulls back pretty deep before the next rotation. So now that we've seen a new high here, we are beginning to see an extreme reversal signal and also a thrust reversal, which could suggest a bit of a pullback to come. Wouldn't be surprising if this thing pulled back toward 2440 to 2460 up ahead. So keep an eye on 2520. Any failure to hold that level starts to open up a deeper downside rotation. Looking at the YM right now trading in a narrow range as well, 124 points of range. That is 18+% of ADR, not even 19%. That is super, super tiny. You can see the range right here, just a tiny compression right at this moment. Not likely to stay that narrow all day. We could trade within the previous session's range, which means a move that can take us back to the previous session's low price. The previous session's low will take us back toward 40,550. Again, keep an eye on the previous week's high and close. Any failure there, and we could be rotating as deep as the previous week's midpoint. Previous week's midpoint is precisely 40,100, and even if we did pull back that deep, again, could be a buying opportunity until proven otherwise. Looking at Bitcoin starting the week with another day of weakness, down 2.25% right now, inside day, continuing to develop within kind of this compression here, building some energy, but at the same time doesn't look particularly bullish at this moment, is failing to find acceptance above 60K. There could be a retest of the recent lows coming up ahead. Overall, at some point here, expecting Bitcoin to begin to make a move back up within the current trading range, which could take us back towards 72 to 74. But right now, again, in kind of a holding pattern, and perhaps another kind of shakeout leg could be ahead. So keeping an eye on this compression right here. Building a ton of energy could lead to the next 10 to 12,000 point move, but got to be patient within that range for now. Likewise with ETH, this one right now down about 1.5%, building out within a very narrow range of price action here over the last 6 to 7 sessions. Let's see, this is about 7 days of compression right here, still building energy that could lead to a move anywhere between 700 and 1,000 points up ahead. We're still in a very clear downtrending market here, and this recent low could be tested up ahead, which could provide a buying opportunity. At some point here, a recovery of 28 to 2,900 starts to open up the upper end of the larger range. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops here heading into the rest of the week. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.